Are you ready for a great adventure? Today on The World is Yours. We're off to Europe to challenge the myth that the Old World is only full of museums and antiquities. Far from it. We'll begin our trip in Chamonix, a French commune where we'll sail down the snowy mountains, taking advantage of one of the best snowboarding spots in the world. Then it's off to Vienna, where we'll learn some of its storied history and submerge ourselves in its vivid, green waters. And finally, we'll cruise around the Portuguese Azores Islands, go whale watching, and find out why it's one of the best places for paragliding. Are you ready? It's time for another unforgettable adventure. Is waiting, and the world is yours. Welcome to the town of Chamonix, France. This quaint town is the closest city to the famous Mont Blanc, the highest mountain in the Alps, and the home base for all excursions to the mountain, located right in the bends of the Auve River. Take in this picturesque landscape. In the spring and summertime, the region displays its green forests and fields full of wildflowers in perfect contrast to the mountains covered in snow. Chamonix was host to the first Winter Olympics in 1924, giving it an important place in the history books. Its main attractions center around Mont Blanc, which, as I mentioned, is the highest mountain in the Alps, in all of Western Europe, and the many ski trails in front of the valley. Chamonix is where the Piolet d'Or, Golden Ice Axe, a trophy that is given to the best mountain climbers in the world, has been awarded on various occasions. The prizes have been presented since 1991 by a committee that is made up of important representatives from French mountaineering magazines. It's considered a true honor, one of the absolute highest in the sport, to be recognized by these mountaineers with the Piolet d'Or. Traveling through Chamonix, we'll come across a lot of its beautiful scenery, and to make the most out of it, we'll have the option to choose among its many different paths. And this stunning area has many to offer. The first thing we should consider is the time of year. Chamonix tends to be pretty cold year-round, with temperatures averaging between 30 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The best time to visit Chamonix, if you're interested in hiking, would be in the months of July and August, when temperatures rise above their average into the 70s. Among the best excursions for visitors is the route known as the Mont Blanc Balcony Trails. For this passage, we must first take the Montanvert Rack and Pinion Railway. From there, we can view the Mer de Glace, or the Sea of Ice, the largest glacier in France. At 4.3 miles long, it's a pretty amazing sight. From here, accompanied by an incredible view of the massive Aiguilles Rouges, or Red Peaks, we'll go up to the Signal Forbes at 7,211 feet. Then, we can continue on towards the Refuge du Plan de l'Aiguille. After taking in the panoramic views from here, we can hike back down from the du Plan de l'Aiguille or take the easy route, a ski lift that will drop us right in the center of Chamonix. While we're here in Chamonix, we can't miss the chance to get an adrenaline rush that can only be reached by mountain climbing. Heading up Mont Blanc continues to be the most exciting activity by far. You don't necessarily have to be an expert to enjoy mountaineering. There are many climbing routes for climbers at all levels to enjoy. Some of the most popular ones are Gouteroute Route, Cosmique Route, and the Grand Mullet Route. Conquering Mont Blanc is a dream that is shared by many amateurs and experts alike. This massif is the culmination of many peaks and spires, sitting majestically between the borders of France and Italy. Reaching the summit is not an easy feat. The climb is dangerous, so reaching the summit is really a dream come true for lovers of the sport. Not a big fan of heights? Not to worry. We can see Chamonix and enjoy its beautiful views while riding bikes around the city. It's not by chance that bike riding is a usual means of getting around these areas in the Savoy region. There are trails and routes that fit all styles of riders and their abilities. The most experienced can ride up or down the steep inclines, while the lower areas, with fewer slopes, are great for those who aren't so adept on two wheels. Well, not yet, at least. Chamonix is also one of the best places in the world for paragliding. If you are ever curious about seeing these mountains from high in the air, this is the place to do it. The most important thing to know is that you can count on expert pilots to assist you. Whether you choose to fly solo or tandem, enjoy the wonders that this place has to offer, from the highest peaks to the fantastic views from the glaciers, all from above. It's quite an adventure. For a more leisurely ascent up Mont Blanc, we'll board the railway car in the central train station of Chamonix. The journey is much slower than a gondola or ski lift, but the slow ascent allows easy acclimation to the altitude. Once we reach the top, we'll be able to enjoy the spectacular views of the glacier and even get to check out the inside in a man-made cave. You heard that right. We'll explore the amazing ice grotto, ice cave, and see the gallery of crystals and ice sculptures inside. It's a long trek up Mont Blanc, but it's worth it. Chamonix is unique for its high-altitude mountains and bounty of snow. So it's not surprising that this is one of the most premier destinations in the world for snowboarding. The excitement surrounding snowboarding in Chamonix is in part due to its perennial snows that convert this valley into a giant, powder-filled backyard. When you wake up, you won't be thinking about breakfast. If the snowfall was light the night before, the locals recommend going to the top of Aiguille du Midi, or Les Grands Montets. There's always snow up there, but it's important to remember that this is where the high adrenaline, expert trails are found. If you're just starting out, it's best to stay on the Le Tour or Les Houches trails. If you're a more experienced skier or snowboarder looking for slopes to practice your tricks, then Les Bravants and La Flégère are the spots for you. Chamonix is an enchanting destination in the winter, but also in the summer. When the temperatures rise and the sun shines a little brighter, the activities don't slow down. On the contrary, Chamonix is packed with loads of summer fun, from hiking to mountain biking to paragliding and horse riding. We're sure to get our fill of action here in Chamonix. And with that, it's time to head east to our next destination. But first, let's test your world knowledge. Which of these cities is known as the City of Music? A. Amsterdam. B. Vienna. C. Prague. D. Moscow. The answer coming up when we return to The World is Yours. We're back. Let's find out the answer to our question. Which of these cities is known as the City of Music? A. Amsterdam. B. Vienna. C. Prague. D. Moscow. If you said B. Vienna, you're right. Vienna is known as the City of Music because many iconic composers, including Strauss, Mozart, Beethoven, and Brahms, all called this city home. It's true. Even today, music is one of Vienna's mainstays. It is almost impossible to go down a street here without spotting some kind of reference to Mozart. Vienna is the capital of Austria. This great country is situated in Central Europe, and the city of Vienna is located on the banks of the Danube River in the Vienna Forest Valley, right at the foot of the Alps. In Vienna, we can find the famous St. Stephen's Cathedral, This building is more than 800 years old, and its south tower is the tallest point in the city's skyline. As we mentioned, Vienna is known as the city of music, and that means it is also home to a lot of dance. There are more than 450 balls every year, some of them hosting up to 6,000 guests. Many Viennese people know how to dance the waltz. It's an important part of the culture, and because of this, there are many schools in the city specializing in the dance. The Vienna State Opera, also known as Wiener Staatsoper, opened its doors for the first time on May 25, 1869, with a presentation of Mozart's Don Juan for the Emperor Franz Joseph and the Empress Elizabeth. This musical venue has continued to present concerts since that day. Every year they put together around 350 performances of more than 60 different shows. The Wiener Staatsoper is considered to be one of the most important musical stages in the world, alongside venues in Milan and Sydney. It also has one of the largest repertoires of music in the world. If all this has awakened your curiosity for orchestral show business, you'll have the opportunity to see exactly what happens backstage. Every day, the Opera House offers guided tours throughout the installations. It begins in the foyer, ascends to the grand staircase, and takes you through the ceremonial rooms, and finally to the auditorium, with a grand view of the stage. This stage is one of the largest in Europe. With a horseshoe shape, this auditorium has the capacity for over 2,000 spectators. It's elegantly decorated with grandiose chandeliers and in the traditional colors, red and gold. With such a nice view and a multitude of options to see, it'll be tough to leave this place, but we have to keep things moving. Our next stop on our trip through Vienna is a very special and historic park. Wolfstalprater. Wolfstalprater is one of the oldest amusement parks in the world. In 1766, Emperor Joseph II donated the land to the people of Vienna, opening it to the general public. Wienerplatte, as the amusement park is also known, consists of a main street, the Krio, and the Prater Stadion. Among its attractions are a bowling alley, movie theater, various merry-go-rounds, and game rooms. Vienna also has one of the oldest Ferris wheels in the world. The construction of this amusement park icon took place in 1897. It's 213 feet high, and at the time it was inaugurated, it was the tallest in the world. Of course, there are many other classic attractions in the park, sought after by visitors from all over the world. The giant Viennese wheel, or Wiener Riesenrad, is a symbol of the city. Not only can you see the entire city from the top, you can also visit the exhibition about the construction of the wheel itself. Then there's the Praterturm, which is a swing carousel within the park. It was opened in 2010 and towers over the city at nearly 400 feet high. If you like speed and heights, well then, this is the ride for you. Now's a good time to take a breather. And what better place to go than the Naschmarkt, the Vienna market? It's one of the most famous farmers markets in Austria. There are various stalls set up where, in addition to fresh fruit and produce, you can find an incredible offering of prepared dishes, ranging from typical Viennese cuisine to Italian, Hindu, kebabs, sushi, Vietnamese, and much more. Locals buy fresh food and delicacies from around the world, from dawn till dusk. There really isn't another place in Austria where you can find such a wide variety of products. Vienna is surprising and full of life. Food, fun, music, and a lot of history. Okay, it's time to head to our final location. But first, let's test your world knowledge. Where are the Azores located? A. Portugal. B. Spain. C. Greece. D. Holland? The answer coming up when we return to The World is Yours. We're back. Let's find out the answer to our question. Where are the Azores located? A. Portugal. B. Spain. C. Greece. D. Holland. If you said A. Portugal, you're right. The 9 islands that form the Azores archipelago are in the North Atlantic and belong to Portugal. An archipelago is a group of islands, and the Azores archipelago is found in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. All of the 9 islands are of volcanic origin. Listed from largest to smallest, they are São Miguel, Pico, Terceira, São Jorge, Faial, Flores, Santa Maria, Graciosa, and Corvo. The island's inhabitants are expert sailors. You can enjoy the marine environment of the islands best, traveling by boat. The Azores is the ideal destination for mountain and water sport fans, and we'll begin our exploration of the Azores on bike. Let's ride to the Sete Cidades caldera, here on the island of São Miguel. These twin lakes are surrounded by a huge volcanic crater and offer us a vantage point we have to see to believe. Let's keep things moving. This is Lagoa de Fogo, also known as the Lake of Fire. Just like the Sete Cidades caldera, this is also a crater lake. It's located right at the center of the island and is one of its largest bodies of water. And it offers something really cool: whale and dolphin watching. Given the geographic location, these islands are an excellent place for surfing, bodyboarding, and windsurfing. You can also get some awesome views of the sea life under the surface. Being located in the middle of the North Atlantic, bathed by the Gulf Stream current, the area consists of warm waters, and as we mentioned before, makes these islands an authentic sanctuary for a large and varied quantity of different marine species. In addition to all the whales and dolphins, the Azores is home to 5 species of sea turtles, as well as roughly 600 species of fish, including various kinds of sharks, manta rays, stingrays, and sea bass. Diving is fantastic on all the islands of the archipelago, and each island offers its own experience. You can choose between shore diving, shipwreck diving, reef diving, cave diving, or even diving with sharks. Here, being up close and personal with dozens of manta rays and huge schools of fish is a normal routine. Underwater, these islands are very different, with whale sharks around one island and blue sharks swimming around another, a sunken ship from World War II, and the remains of a shipwreck from the 15th and 16th centuries. Incredible! Seeing the Azores from the depths of the ocean is a unique experience, to say the least. So far, we've island hopped, gotten up close and personal with an ancient volcano, and watched some majestic whales cruise the waters. But we're not done just yet. We'll be right back with more of our adventure. But first, let's test your world knowledge. Which of these islands is the largest in the Azores archipelago? A. Santa Maria. B. São Miguel. C. Flores. D. Corvo. The answer coming up when we return to The World is Yours. We're back. Let's find out the answer to our question. Which of these islands is the largest in the Azores archipelago? A. Santa Maria. B. São Miguel. C. Flores. D. Corvo. If you said B, San Miguel, you're right. San Miguel is the biggest island in the archipelago, at around 38 miles long and almost 10 miles wide, covering some 290 square miles. It holds more than half of the Azorean population, with about 140,000 people. Our last stop in the Azores will continue our exploration through the islands, only this time, it'll be from up in the air. The Azores are considered to be a very special destination for enjoying paragliding, since there are so many different places on the island to take off and land. However, the best location is San Miguel, since it's possible to fly above it all year round. Remember the 2 crater lakes we visited? Well, from up here, you can get a bird's eye view of them. And much, much more. Well, that wraps up our adventure for today. We traveled the marvelous trails hidden in the French Alps town of Chamonix. We visited the city of music, Vienna, which some of the most legendary composers called home. And we toured the unique islands that make up the Azores archipelago, from air, land, and sea. Thanks for joining us on our trip around the world. There are many more adventures to come. Until next time, the world is waiting, and the world is yours.